Hi everybody, here's an introduction to doing multi-ball for table tennis. Enya here is demonstrating how to deliver underspin to Alanis, and she's doing it with keeping more than one ball in her left hand and still feeding, trying to grab a ball every single time, and if she misses grabbing one, she can still keep the rally going by hitting the ball back cross court. Here's another view of how to do it. So she likes to keep the basket next to her versus on the table, and also doing this also allows you to keep the ball low. And so when you're delivering underspin, it's a drop feed, so you're dropping the ball on the table and then you're hitting it each time, trying to keep it low and trying to feed each ball once the previous ball has hit the table. Here's Alanis doing the same thing, but in her case she has the basket of balls on the table, and she's a little bit higher coming down on the ball. Would probably prefer it to be a little bit lower, but still Enya's able to keep the rally going, and you can kind of see this is just basic underspin that they're feeding here. Enya here is now feeding topspin to Alanis, and here you want to keep the angle of the paddle a little bit closed, and then kind of throw the ball into the racket without bouncing it on the table. So this is not a drop feed. You still want to grab multiple balls per time, and it's much faster. To put it in perspective, a bucket like the one that Enya's pulling from would hold probably around 200 balls, and in a good session you could actually get through those 200 balls in about 3 minutes. So it's definitely much faster. And here's a side view, her doing the same thing. And again, as you do multi-ball, you get better and better at it, just like everything else. Here's a view of Alanis feeding topspin multi-ball. She's doing a little bit better job of going faster. You don't want to go faster than the person you're training with, but you want to keep the ball going again. The goal being that you're feeding the next ball right as their ball is hitting your side of the table. So this is pretty fast, where the underspin with the drop feed is pretty slow. The topspin is actually a really fast feed. So in addition to just feeding the ball, the person who's receiving the multi-ball should be aiming mostly cross court or to the middle of the table, i.e. away from the person who's feeding the ball. As a person who's feeding the ball, you still want to keep an eye on what the person you're feeding the ball to is doing, because every once in a while a ball can hit off an edge and actually hit you, so you just want to be aware of what's happening on the other side of the table. Thank you for watching on how to do multi-ball. In our next video we will go over how to do pushing technique.